Hi, everyone. I'm Debbie Baaske, the Acting Member Engagement Manager at Rails. And today joining me is Hallie Cox, the Director of the Kane County Law Library, as well as the Self-Help Legal Center. Welcome, Hallie. It's great for you to join us today.
Hi, thank you for inviting me, Debbie.
We're happy to have you here. Would you like to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and sort of your history in libraries?
Certainly. As you mentioned, my name is Halle Cox. I'm the director of the Kane County Law Library and Self-Help Legal Center. I actually have been in libraries almost my entire life. I started out working in a high school at the St. Charles Public Library, and I continue on there in a part-time capacity in the reference desk service. So I have a strong public background, public library background. And then I went on to get my master's in library and information studies from the University of Rhode Island. And it actually has a specialization in law. So when I graduated from there, I began full-time as the director of the Kane County Law Library and Self-Help Legal Center. So I've been here, I won't say how many years, but quite decades. We'll just say decades.
Many, right? Yeah. Well, that's great. Would you like to share a little bit about the library that you work at?
Sure. In Illinois, county law libraries are established through the county board. Ours was established back in 1961. So we've been in existence for quite a while. We've gone through many iterations, moves, um, everything you can think of, directors. We're actually statutorily funded. We get a $20 fee off every civil filing. So the law libraries in Illinois do not take any tax dollars. We're completely independent of the tax funding for most counties. So that's something most people don't know. We're considered a special revenue fund within the county. My library, we have three full-time staff members, myself, another librarian who's also a professional librarian, and then one full-time library technical assistant. And we've been lucky enough also to have been awarded for the last 4 years an Illinois Justice Corps Fellow. This is through the Illinois State Bar Foundation, and this person is full-time. I'm considered their on-site supervisor, and what they do is help people feel more comfortable within the court system. They need to go to a different room, if they need to find a courtroom, if they need to find a form, that the Illinois Justice Corps Fellow is there to help them and sort of act as like a greeter for the court system.
Wow. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's great. I'm glad you're not there all by yourself
No,
helping the
no.
masses. And who exactly are you assisting?
Well, it should probably start out with our mission is to ensure there's equal and open access to the court system. And we like to say we create empowered and informed legal consumers. And that being said, everyone is our audience. Just like a public library, we serve everybody from birth to death. Does not matter if you're part of the legal system or not. Actually, generally, about 85% of our users at any given time are the general public.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, of course, we also assist the judges,
Mm-hmm.
attorneys, other county agencies, state agencies. Um, we service high school mock trial teams. We service law students. Local businesses reach out to us a lot. Police agencies, homeowners associations. People getting tickets, people wanting to change their child support. We pretty much see it all.
Okay, and so anyone from the public that's looking for legal resources can come into the building and come into the library and use the resources, correct?
Absolutely. And we actually have strong partnerships with the local public libraries because I myself, like I said, have
Mm-hmm.
a background from the St. Charles Public Library. My other two staff members come from the Geneva Public Library. So we all
Okay.
have strong public backgrounds, and we really reach out and encourage local libraries
Okay.
to call us if they need assistance finding something, to refer their patrons to us. We have strong partnerships, which I find very, very crucial.
Okay. And what are some of the resources that they might find there?
Um, Some of the resources include we of course have public access terminals, photocopiers, the standard
Mhm.
scanners, things of that nature. We also have specialized databases such as Lexis. We have a divorce and family law help database. We have a legal resource center database, and all those can be used in-house. We're currently trying to coordinate offsite access to those, but at this point we have not reached that goal yet, but we're
Okay.
working towards it. So
Wow.
those are some of the specialized databases that we have. And of course, we have all the print reference materials that are available to the general public that will
Mhm.
definitely teach people how to use.
So I'm curious, especially for maybe judges and attorneys, are you having to do sort of specialized research, or do the paralegals usually handle that type of research, or are you required to do that type of research?
In our area, in our county, I work very strongly, and the staff works very strongly directly with the attorneys and judges.
Okay.
Often we're just teaching them the best resources, where they might be able to find their information.
Hmm.
Um, we often see attorneys that may specialize in, like, corporate law, and then their aunt will call me and be like, oh my God, I'm getting divorced. What do I do? So, and the attorney has no idea about family law issues. So they'll come in, and we'll help them, brush up on whatever area of law the family member or friend has asked them
Wow.
to help out with.
Hmm.
So
And I was curious about sort of how do you get the word out sometimes, like either to the public or to the libraries or even just to the attorneys and judges? Is it difficult sometimes getting out the word that you're there and what you're doing?
all the time it's difficult. That's one of our biggest challenges, is advertising our services, because we are so specialized.
Yeah.
We've created pamphlets that we've dropped off with local agencies and libraries. We're constantly Facebooking.
Hmm.
We've created a new Instagram account. We try to do newspaper articles when we can, push out
Sure.
some of our services if we're having a special program coming up or something along those lines. I'm currently looking into, thanks to a grant from the Administrative Office of the Illinois Courts and the Supreme Court, I'm currently looking into advertising on radio stations,
Oh,
local radio
wow.
stations.
Okay.
So basically, we really, our strongest is word of mouth. People
Okay.
use us, realize what a great resource we are, and tell friends and family.
That's
But
great.
but we definitely try to push out as much as we can.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I'd be curious to hear, over the last 2 years, things have changed for a lot of people with the pandemic. I'm curious to hear how that's affected your role and the role of the library.
It's deeply affected us. Our role has shifted dramatically. And in all honesty, it probably needed to shift, just maybe not quite as fast.
Sure.
um, Right now, we are working more and more with the general public on accessing Zoom court. The courts have gone we were closed for a while, so they went to full remote access to court.
Okay.
And now that everybody's open again, we're doing a hybrid version where sometimes people can come in person and other times they have to Zoom in.
Okay.
So a lot of people are very, very uncomfortable with that, with the remote process, and
Mm.
or they don't have the technological skills or the data plans or or the equipment needed to Zoom in.
Right.
So for the last 2 years, we have been very, very focused on coordinating access to the court system for those that might be uncomfortable with the remote access, and pushing out, creating pamphlets and how to's and videos and directions on how to successfully attend court remotely.
Wow. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you guys are there to do that and
Right.
assist people with that. That's you're meeting a real need. So that's
And
great.
And we have actually also through that same grant, through the AOIC, Administrative Office of the Illinois Courts, we've been able to purchase iPads.
Oh,
So people that are uncomfortable accessing truly remotely can come into the law library and we will work with them. We'll set them up on an iPad so they can attend court from within the library
oh,
and
that's
sort of
great.
have that guidance in case they have technical difficulties or don't
Sure.
understand what's going on. We're there to help sort of give them that support.
Wow, that's terrific. Was there anything else that I didn't ask you about or that you wanted to mention or to share with the audience?
We also have a few legal aid programs
Oh,
that we run through the library. We have a divorce and family law call-in program for 1 hour every Thursday morning between 11 and noon. We have attorneys that volunteer to answer the phone and answer family law questions. We have a very similar program, only it's in person on Monday mornings between 8:30 and 10:30. I had to think about that. Where people can walk in and get assistance from volunteering attorneys in the law library. And then we've also partnered with Gale Borden Public Library, where once a month we have volunteering attorneys spend a few hours at the Gale Borden Public Library and answering any type of legal question that people might have. So we're
Wow,
really hoping to continue to create those partnerships once things settle down again. And
sure.
so
Oh, that's great. You might have some other libraries reach out to you after
please,
watching
please,
this. So
right? Please do. I highly encourage it. We love referrals.
that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I learned a lot. I've been there. I mean, your library is wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're really glad that you could join us today, Hallie. And if anybody has any questions, they can post them in the comments or
Mhm.
email us at communications, or I can forward them on to you. But thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed myself.
My pleasure.